I'm speaking to William Saad, who is co-founder and chief operating officer of IHS, headquartered in Nigeria. We're coming to you from the World Economic Forum on Africa here in Kigali. Thanks so much for your time, William. So you're based in telecoms infrastructure, and this must be certainly the demand for telecommunications is increasing across the continent. Tell me exactly how you are operating on the ground, given the Nigerian environment right now, many people saying that the economy is stalling.
You know, we've been in Africa for a long time, since we started in IHS in 2001. And we have learned the whole steps in the telecom industry and what's required to really be successful in the infrastructure service provision in the continent. And over the time, we have learned how to bypass all the hurdles that we face in the industry. And the current economic problem that's happening in the continent, of course, is affecting us, but not in a major way, because there's always certain means that can help us to really surpass those.
You operate in 5 countries on the African continent, and when we were chatting off air, you mentioned Côte d'Ivoire. Many people, including the IMF reports, coming out and saying that Côte d'Ivoire, Abidjan, the next hotspot in West Africa, being the largest economy in Francophone West Africa. Are you seeing that kind of traction on the ground?
You know, I've seen that. It is the case. So we can see it from the way the telecommunication penetration and the subscriber growth is happening in the country. And yeah, I agree with that.
Let's talk about the green economy. It's a big talking point. It's part of the Sustainable Development Goals as set out. Where are we when it comes to the green economy, when it comes to telecom infrastructure?
From the telecom perspective, it's a need currently to see, to look for means how to operate in a most efficient way. We've been depending on diesel for the last, since the telecom started in Africa. And we have been testing and trying a lot of solutions over the years. And lately we have been successful in, we did not reinvent the wheel, which is simply did certain art on the existing science to be able to design the most efficient way to operate a cell site depending on solar, liquid hydrogen, solar, diesel, and to make it cost efficient at the same time to maintain the high availability and performance we give to our customers.
So it hinges on solar?
Yes.
Is the cost of solar energy provision coming down?
It is coming down. It's coming down year by year.
In terms of rollout now across Africa, beyond the 5 countries that you're operating in, where would you be set to expand?
We are always looking in the market to see what are the opportunities available there. Of course, whenever we see a good opportunity, we will not hesitate to grab it.
Power is a big hobby horse for me. 621 million people on the African continent don't have access to electricity. How does this impact your operation? I mean, if you look at Nigeria itself, 75 million people in that territory don't have access to electricity.
That's one of the main reasons we commissioned this report about the environment, because we have seen the huge gap in the power sector in Africa. The required investment is about $60 to $90 billion a year to be able to provide power for everybody in Africa. And in order, when we talk ICT and connectivity, of course, you need telecommunication, but the main factor is power. So even if we power our sites using solar, we need to have the user have power to charge his phone to be able to survive to use the phone.
William, people here in Kigali are debating Africa rising, Africa falling. Which side of the coin do you stand?
Of course, Africa rising. That's why we invested over this year over $500 million in renewable energy to power our sites.
You don't think that the slower growth across the continent, as forecast by the IMF, we're looking at about 3% GDP growth for sub-Saharan Africa 2016, that is going to impact businesses across the board?
I don't believe so.
Is there opportunity in the lower growth scenario?
There's opportunities. The more the risks, the more the challenges, the more the opportunities.
William, thank you so much for your time. I've been chatting to William Saad. He is Chief Operating Officer and co-founder of IHS based in Nigeria.